And we're live. Hello, 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 and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, Sorin's journey in Endwalker. So, since last time, Dawn Trail has kind of the early access for Dawn Trail has been released. I've been distracted a little bit by that over the weekend. But I'm still going to be carrying through Endwalker with Sorin. Can't skip straight to the new stuff. Plan is, hopefully, that I can continue going through Endwalker until the end of the main story quests. Hopefully, the servers will be happy enough with me. It is looking like, at the time I log on with Sorin, that numbers are fairly normal. I don't know how much the full release of Dawn Trail tomorrow will impact that, but hopefully it won't be too much more of an issue. As I kind of glance aside and realize I have dropped some frames already, which is not promising. Hopefully it won't be too much of an issue. Oh, hello, Nam. Add onto it from the gold saucer. I don't remember buying it from the gold saucer, but I guess me not remembering something is not much of an indication of how true it is. Oh. But today we're moving on to the... Didn't mean to open the door. But we're starting the range DPS role quests for Endwalker. And possibly starting the tank quests in Gridania. But I'll have to see how much time this all takes. Hopefully I don't have too much lag issues with the drop frames that I've been having recently. Otherwise, I don't know what to do about it. Let us begin. Do mine eyes deceive me? Master Sorin? Oh, thank the Kami. Lord Hian has requested assistance in the resolution of a most urgent matter. The hunt for a fell beast believed to be a blasphemy. Though we have made great strides in ensuring the safety of our people, we fear even our finest shinobi will be no match for this enemy, for it commands the skies of Doma. But as your talent for striking down foes at a distance is beyond compare, I can think of no one better to aid us in overcoming this adversary. Of course. Just point me in the right direction. Oh, Kami be praised. I shall inform Lady Yugiri, that she may receive you at the Doma Enclave. Safe travels, Master Sorin. Right. Back to Doma. Dropped out a little bit loudly. They're still rebuilding from their time under the Empire. Oh, just realized you had my stream muted. Well done. I suppose fair enough if you were here early. It's good to see you, Sorin. When we received word that you, of all people, had answered our call, I could scarcely believe it. Yet here you are. I was told there's a blasphemy about. I can hardly say no. Lord Hian will be pleased for this reunion. If you'd wait here a moment. Lord Hian? Well, that the Kami should guide your steps to our door once more, under such fortuitous timing. Pray forgive me for not affording your heroes welcome, but time is not on our side. Not long after receiving word of men transforming into hideous beasts in Thavnair, A similar creature was born of a woman in Isari. After attacking another villager, it took to disguise and fled, though to where we know not. An all too cruel twist of fate. For the one slain was among the prisoners returned to us in that deplorable exchange with Asahi and the Empire, just when they had at last begun to piece their life back together. This blasphemy must be stopped. Alas, our foe is one to keep the disguise, well beyond the reach of our samurai and shinobi. Thus did we seek the aid of those proficient in ranged combat, able to pluck the beast from the heavens. Of course, martial prowess alone will not solve our problem. Others have turned into weaker, but no less gruesome abominations, as was the case in Thavnair, and their numbers increase by the day. From what I understand, the phenomenon is not unlike a sickness, which spreads by feeding on fear and anxiety. Emotions which, of late, can be found in abundance. Slaying the beasts means nothing if the people's hearts cannot be put at ease. Lord Ian! Is everything okay? Clearly not, but... You have to help! The villagers... They... Sir, please, calm yourself, and tell us what happened. Another has been turned in Namai, my lord. For a blessing, no one was harmed when the beast flew into a rage, but... The people are in a panic. I fear what may happen next. We should get over there quickly. It would seem we have even less time than I thought. Worry not, we will see to the beast. As of yet, there is no cure for this affliction, but we will save what lives we can, I promise you. I trust you are ready to join the fray? Of course. Anytime. It was last seen near the glittering basin. Come, I'll show you. This is the place? The beast was right here. I swear it. I thank you for leading us here, but it is not safe. Please, return to your village. We should split up if we're to have any chance of finding it. Sorin, would you see to the west? I will search to the north, and you, Gary, I leave the east to you. If you find it, remember, these blasphemies are no longer people. He'll not hesitate to strike you down, so you mustn't either. Now, let us not waste any more time. Right. I've seen enough in... everywhere else I've been. I think I want to... Let's turn off the mount music. Those just look like normal wildlife. Wait, is that... We don't. Are you okay? Lord Ian, I found a blasphemy, but... Are you alright? We heard shouting and came as fast as we could. It would appear Sorin arrived not a moment too soon. Why? Why did you kill my brother? Your brother? I'm sorry. Your brother. Young man, that creature was not your kin. Not anymore. Had he not laid it to rest, it would have killed you, and countless others. But if your heart cries out for one to blame, let it be me. The beast was slain at my behest, for it was the only way. No, no, you're wrong. You killed him, murdered him. I hate you. I can only imagine how it must... Issei, what are you doing here? Searching for Tombo. No, clearly you found him first. A monster was his older brother, as you may have guessed. Tombo gave chase the moment it ran off. I beg you forgive him for his outburst. His brother was all he had left. Excuse me? Their father was conscripted by the Empire and was, regrettably, not among those returned to us in the recent exchange of prisoners. The hope they might one day be reunited was their only comfort when the Viceroy still ruled. I can only imagine how they felt when she walked into Asari, that shadow of her former self. Tsuyu may have had no memories of the monster she was, but her victims still see her in their dreams. Nevertheless, like many, the brothers prayed your mercy would see their family restored. But then they learned of her death and of their father's absence. Deprived of hope and of hate all at once, they had nothing. My apologies for rambling. No. It was a rather enlightening tale. I spared the woman who brought him pain, and took the brother who brought him comfort. I would hate me too. I swear I will set things right for Tombo, for all the people of Doma. Please return home, Issei, and be safe. I should have known the situation here would be... perfect place for Blasphemies to appear. Let us return to the Doma Enclave. This ordeal has given me much to consider. Of course. I'll meet you back there. Oh. Hello, Mooney. Welcome to the stream. How's work treating you today? I am already done with hay fever season. I have a constant, scratchy feeling at the back of my throat. You just realize the bushes actually move when characters walk through them. A little bit, yeah. Parts of them, anyway. Huh. I'd not noticed that before. A little understaffed. Sometimes it feels like it's more common for you to be normally staffed. Tall grass in the earlier scene. Oh. I'll have to pay attention next time I'm kind of in the area. Right. Lord Ian, I owe you a great debt for your timely assistance, and an apology, for I've made you an executioner in young Tombo's eyes. Would that I had been the one he witnessed cut down the beast his brother had become. But we haven't time to dwell on regrets and what should have been. No. We need to take action, and after hearing of Tombo and his brother, I believe I know what must be done. A great many of our brothers and sisters were returned to us in the prisoner exchange, but even so, there are those who yet remain lost to us. Meanwhile, Yotsu, who was directly responsible for much of our people's suffering, was never held to account for her crimes. In death, she claimed vengeance for her suffering at the hands of her brother, but it came at the expense of justice for her countless victims. The people of Doma have every right to resent me for failing them in their grief. What of those who cannot even bring themselves to do that? Who are left alone with their anger and their pain? It may well give way to despair, and then they would share the same fate as Tombo's brother, yes. Which is why we must needs consider who else might share in his anguish, ere we find ourselves beset by more beasts. I'll begin making rounds of the villages, to inquire after those whom their neighbours believe are more distressed of late. Very good. I and the other shinobi shall continue our search for the blasphemy, which set these events in motion. And you, my friend, we'll have need of your talents again ere long. Rest assured we will keep you apprised of our findings. Do you still wish everything that had happened with Yotsu had gone differently? Yukiri? Ah, Sorin. We have yet to ascertain the whereabouts of the blasphemy from Isari, but, for a blessing, we have received no reports of others that have turned. Lord Hien, for his part, has made a concerted effort to go about the villages and converse with his subjects directly. I suspect his constant presence has served to allay the people's fears. As one might expect, he has ever been dedicated and diligent. I fear he has been away overlong. I thought to go and visit what should have been his last destination, Isari. Might I ask you to accompany me? Of course. I'm curious myself to investigate the origins of this blasphemy. Thank you. I'm sure there is no cause for concern, but nevertheless, I should be glad to find him quickly. Onokoro. I'm not a fan of summer. It's hot, humid, hay fever. Things seem peaceful, at least. quest markers. What are these two unlock quests? Heaven sent, knocked on heaven. Are they two quests to do with Heaven on High? Huh. Sorin, Yugiri, my apologies if I gave you cause for concern. Assessing the state of affairs here in Isari has proven difficult. But simply, the people, one and all, refuse to speak with me. They simply bow their heads and turn away at my approach. Knowing the blasphemy originated here, I cannot help but wonder if that has aught to do with their silence. Perhaps you could attempt to engage with the people in my stead. Surely they have no cause to deny the two of you. I should hope not. Nevertheless, I will don a disguise, lest I draw undue attention. Come, Sorin. Let us see what we can discover. Thank you, both of you. Right. Why wouldn't they... They're not even talking to... Excuse me, sir. I owe a great debt to Lord Hien. If not for him, I would still be fighting under the Imperial standard. But the village suffered dearly under the occupation. Once more, our Lord failed to punish the Viceroy for her crimes, and failed to reunite many with their loved ones. I understand why some would think poorly of him, even if I do not. It does make some measure of sense. Excuse me. A blasphemy? You are mistaken, my friend. Our village was visited not by a monster, but a kami, Izanami. Where Lord Hien is cold and callous, she offers us boundless compassion and love. Blasphemy is a... That's something I definitely need to report. It's another situation like we had in Limsa Lominsa when some of the Sahagin thought the blasphemy was a blessing. We don't need more people trying to cause transformations. Aye, that's right. The blasphemy was born of a young woman here in Isari. Tragic, really. Every day she prayed for the safe return of her husband, but it was not to be. If I am to be honest, I fear the loss drove her poor mother-in-law mad. Kisei has ever been a devout believer in the kami and their blessings, but she's somehow convinced herself that Minato has become one. Delusions of a grieving parent, obviously, but an alarming number of people have come to share in her belief. Heresy is what it is. Kisei. Blasphemy. I'm guessing this Minato is the woman who became the blasphemy. So her mother-in-law believes that she's become a kami? Lord Hien, I've learned a few things out here. I see. Little wonder they would refuse to confide in me. The belief held by some that this blasphemy is a kami, however, is quite concerning. Izanami presides over life and death. She gave birth to the nation of Doma, and ushers souls of the departed unto the land of the dead. I trust you understand what it would mean to deny them a source of hope in such dark times, even one such as this. More coffin of Andy and Lele tonight? My throat is really itchy today. The villagers also claimed as Kisei can speak with the dead. In fact, she will be holding a gathering to demonstrate her powers ere long. Perfect opportunity to gauge the extent of their fanaticism. Not for me, of course. My presence would draw undue attention. Might I ask you both to attend in my stead? I don't mind. Her followers will be gathering in the tavern. Come. Right. She can speak with the dead? Is that... O spirits of Isari, I beseech you, lend me your voice and let your presence be known. Cross the veil and be among us once more. What a... Akitsu. Father? Father? Still tending the nets, like I taught you. Yes, Father. Every day. Thanks to you, we never want for fish. Our bellies are never empty. I'm proud to be your son. I was always too embarrassed to tell you before, but... And I'm proud to have been your father. May you be ever blessed by the sea's bounty. It hurts. Father? What's wrong? What's... He is in terrible pain, my child. Those who have cheated death's design yet live. It has disrupted the natural order, and the spirits suffer for it. What must we do to ease their pain? Fear not. Izanami shall put all to rights. She will claim the souls not long for this world, and deliver them unto the hereafter. When her work is finished, your father's spirit, and all the others, will find peace. Can you find my father? Can you help me speak with him? Kisei, can you commune with my husband? What about my family? Help me, Kisei, please. Is that... We should report this back. Is that real? So, is Kisei's ability all that she claims? It's hard to say. The people seem convinced at any rate. A young man spoke of his dearly departed father through her. I find that rather hard to believe. Even so, those in attendance appeared quite convinced, my lord. And I suspect a great many of the villagers I've spoken with recently are as well. Everywhere I went, the people were in so much pain. There was nothing I could do or say to give them solace. Yet, for all their anguish, there's not been a single report of villagers turning since the incident with Tonbo's brother. Which can only mean word of Kise and her ability to speak with the deceased has spread. The belief we can commune with our loved ones in death is a comfort far beyond my power to provide. And though I fail to see how people would abide to Kami claiming innocent lives to restore order. Right. Can't... She comes! Izanami! The blasphemy? Here? That's... Lord Ian, Kami. She appeared as if from nowhere, and in the next instant this poor man was... This man... He's the one who... He spoke well of Ian. He's one of the people I just spoke to in the village. You recognize him then? Curious that he and the Blasphemies' first victims were former conscripts. What could Vin be after, I wonder? It does not become my lord to speak ill of the Kami. Say. I understand you are come to investigate the rumors of a monster born in our village. A blasphemy, you called it. But you are sorely mistaken. My daughter-in-law, Minato, was chosen to serve as a vessel for Izanami. I witnessed her ascension with my own eyes. She saw the transformation. I guess here comes the proof. Minato, please. I can't. I won't. There's no logic in it. No justice. The Witch of Doma spared, given a second chance. My husband, condemned to die as a conscript. I'll never know what became of him. Lord Ian can't give me even that. When I look at the families he made whole, at their happiness, I feel the hole in my heart. The gaping wound will never heal. Begin to bleed. Only at my beloved's side will I find peace. You mustn't lose faith, Minato. All will be well. Trust in the Kami, in Izanami. I want to believe. But... She did see the transformation. Izanami has come to bring peace to the souls of the departed, to restore balance between this world and ours. Surely you would not dare defy the will of the kami. This balance you speak of has claimed the lives of 2 innocents but recently returned to us. I cannot and will not accept that the kami would condone such cruelty. No crueler than the sight of Yotsu free and forgiven, while my husband and son fought Garlemald's wars, now dead and forgotten in a foreign land. With all due respect, Lord Hien, is it not your duty to protect Doma and her people? How are we to place our faith in the man who places the enemy's safety and well-being above that of his own subjects? Only the kami are deserving of our adoration, as they have always been. Just been a little faster. Villagers are no doubt loath to ask it of me, but preparations must be made for burials and funeral rites. I can offer that much at least. You seemed distracted during our conversation with Kisei. Is something the matter? Well, I was granted a vision by the echo. I saw Minato's transformation. The echo. And the blasphemy was indeed born of Minato. Bear witness to such horror. How her mind must have struggled to comprehend what she saw. And as a woman of faith, perhaps her only surviving family becoming one with the divine was the only reality with which she could come to terms. I believe I know now what must be done. I but pray her fervor does not drive her to oppose us. Come, let us return to the Enclave. Lord Hien has a... I wonder what his plan is. We can't be too simplistic about this. If we just went straight for hunting Izanami, then the people who are struggling to hold on to hope as it is lose what they believe to be the god they're putting their faith in. It will only lead to more people becoming blasphemies. Find a way to stabilize the situation first. Oh, you have to make... Is this to do with the ADD stuff? From what you told me of your vision, the nature of Minato's despair, as well as the focus of her ire, is clear. It is plain she was a good-natured and kind-hearted woman, grieving for the loss of her husband. This loss alone may not have been enough to turn her, but my failure to hold Yotsu to account, together with the sight of other families reunited, compounded the turmoil in her broken heart. Oh, you gotta redo the pre-screening all over again? Yeah, that's... I can definitely see that being annoying, having to redo it all. Excuse me. Oh. Just needed to cough a bit. path to despair paved by my good intentions. A truth that will weigh heavy on my conscience until my dying day. Minato was prepared to die in sadness rather than live in hatred. If she could see the beast she has become, she would implore us to stop her. Which is why we must find the others who were returned to us in the prisoner exchange before they come to harm. Once their safety is assured, we may hunt down the Blasphemy and bring a close to this tragedy. I'm not sure it's as simple as that, Lord Ian. I need to find a way to calm the hearts of the people first. Sorin. If you are come to ask after the blasphemy, I have naught to share. As of yet, our shinobi have seen no sign of the beast. The returnees, however, are all accounted for, and Lord Heian has seen them safely to the Kyenkan. As such, he is presently assisting with the hunt. For a blessing, there have been no reports of other villagers turning, and yet, before the situation takes a turn for the worse, there is a matter I feel warrants further investigation. Kisei. Though a villager of Isari, I suspect she may, in fact, hail from my home, Suino Sato. Knowing they would be loath to answer my inquiries, I entreated the Kojin to contact Suino Sato in my stead. While contact with the outside world is kept to a minimum, they have ever maintained relations with the Blue of Tamamizu. At mention of Kisei, however, their cordial warmth turned strangely cold. If we are to learn more, I fear we have little choice but to go and speak with the people of Suino Sato ourselves. A simple visit for you, I imagine, but my banishment complicates matters. That said, it has been many years since I left home. Were I to disguise myself, I might well go unnoticed in your company, if you are willing to take the risk. Well, I've done some favors for the village, so hopefully even if there are suspicions, they'll maybe let them slide. Thank you. Let us make for Onokoro then. Right. Quite a while since I've been here. Heading under the sea again. You, Gary? Is the garments I wore when we first met sufficient, I think, to conceal my identity. How many years has it been since last I saw home? It's been a long time, I take it. I am a shinobi of Doma, aye, but even as a child, I sought to ensure the safety and survival of Suino Sato. I was quite bold in those days, if not a touch reckless, and together with the other children, I often ventured beyond the borders of home. We yearned for adventure, and so one day we sought to behold the wonders of Doma. Imagine a horror to discover a city of ruin and ash. Imperial soldiers marching through the streets. We fled at the sight. But in my haste I lost my way in the bamboo groves. It was there I first met a young boy named Shun. A sweaty mess as he swung his wooden sword with reckless abandon. Training to fulfill his duty as a samurai, he said. Having seen the destruction of which the Empire was capable, I too felt the need to protect my home. I joined him in his exercises, and every day my resolve to protect those I love grew. Sadly, my elders refused to listen. They were content to remain hidden beneath the waves, and hopefully, the Empire's notice. With a heavy heart, I left in search of the strength I believed we sorely needed. And I found it as a shinobi. But the people feared war and conflict would follow on my heels should I return. I do not begrudge them their decision, nor do I regret mine own. Part of me is overjoyed at the thought of seeing home again. Openly defying the wishes of the Ruby Princess, however, would bode ill for my family. They have suffered enough for my transgressions. That is why, for their sake, I would remain naught but a faceless shinobi at your employ. Right, I'll try to keep that up. Thank you. With that in mind, let us make for Suino Sado. Here we are. All these years, yet naught appears to have changed since the day I left. But now is not the time to reminisce. We have work to do. Kisei's departure from Suino Sado was likely decades ago. Perhaps the village elders will know why she chose to leave. Right. So many fond memories. Pay no mind to my idle musings. Lead on. Excuse me, sir. Do you happen to remember a woman named Kisei? Kisei. The name sounds familiar, and yet... Apologies, friend. My memory is not what it once was. Let us seek out another. That's if it was decades ago, how many people clearly remember? Maybe I shouldn't ask Shiosai. He didn't seem particularly fond of me last time I was here. Excuse me. My, it has been quite some time since I heard that name. She was a priestess of the village, banished after drawing the ire of the former Ruby Princess. What has become of her after all these years, I wonder? Please, is there anything else you can tell us? Yunagi was quite close of her, if memory serves. Perhaps you should seek her out. Yugiri is... Is everything alright? Mother. I had hoped to avoid my parents, but if there is no other way... Sorin, might I ask you to take the lead? Of course. That's... Those quests from Kurenai are just... That's the... custom deliveries, isn't it? Is it? It's marked as blue. I feel I have to assume it's... the custom deliveries? Excuse me. It is good to see you again. To what do we owe the honor of your visit? I'm actually on a bit of investigation. I was told you might be familiar with someone named Kisei. Oh yeah, I know where the custom deliveries actually happen, Nam. I'm just wondering if that's the quest that unlocks them. Because I know, like, custom deliveries don't, like, the actual deliveries themselves don't have a blue quest mark, they have the special symbol. Oh, consultation call. I hate consultation calls. I hate phone calls in general. But at least it's sorted. You know, that's one, you've got it scheduled, that's one less thing to worry about. Oh. And one other thing left to do. Kisei. Yes, we were close, but that was a long, long time ago. Still, if I can be of assistance to the man to whom we owe so much, I will share all I know. Kisei was born to a family of priests, and even at an early age, she was possessed of extraordinary abilities. Much was expected of her, but everything changed the day she said she could speak with the dead. No one believed her at first, but she continued to insist she could, and strove to prove it by demonstrating knowledge well beyond her years. Knowledge of events to which she could not have been privy. Word of her talent eventually reached the Ruby Princess, and she was summoned to Shisui of the Violet Tides for a private audience. No one knows what Kisei said to her in the palace. Only that the princess was incandescent with rage, and ordered her exile forthwith. Some believe Kisei revealed a terrible secret of the royal house, or perhaps spoke a blatant falsehood that proved her a liar. Indeed, the knowledge she claimed to divine from the dead was not always truthful, but who is to say the dead would know the truth, or not seek to deceive? Thus could we never be certain if it was simply a fantasy or a power divine. The one thing that is certain is that no small number of people found comfort in her words. Would that I could tell you more, but sadly I have not seen or spoken with Kisei since her banishment. Thank you for what you've shared. This is a companion of mine. Forgive me, but have we met your companion before? She looks familiar. I like the... Sorry, I'm just noticing that just the smile on Yugiri's father. I believe this is the first time my shinobi has visited Suinosato. Is that so? For the briefest of moments, you reminded me of someone quite dear to my heart. Being a shinobi, I presume you have heard tales of Yugiri Mistwalker. Should you chance to meet her, may I ask you to deliver her a message? Tell her that her mother and father love her, that we could not be more proud of her. I will. I have no doubt she feels the same, and not a day goes by without you and her thoughts. Thank you for your time. I believe we have heard enough. Shall we return to Onokoro? Right. This isn't the first time Kisei has been involved in something like this. I suppose it is... It isn't as easy to disprove as... It's like Yugiri's mother said. spirits of the dead doesn't mean they know everything or aren't inclined to lie. My apologies for placing you in so peculiar a situation. Though I must confess, it did my heart good to see mother and father well. All the more reason I must do all I can to keep the peace. As a shinobi of Doma... No. As a member of the Eastern Alliance. Mayhap there will come a day when Svinosato opens to the world. A day when Yugiri Mistwalker can be reunited with her mother and father. Lord Heian could be afforded the same opportunity. But Lord Kyan and Lady Mina have long since passed. Two of too many lives lost in the Imperial occupation. I cannot imagine he would ever succumb to despair, but make no mistake, Lord Heian knows the pain of his people all too well. I can see it in his eyes, and if I may be honest, it troubles me at times. But perhaps I have said too much. Come, we mustn't keep him waiting. I do agree he does. It does seem like he's trying too hard to keep his own emotions out of things. Yeah, it is painful when you have to spend your lunch breaks doing what's effectively just more work. Lord Heian. Welcome back. I trust your journey proved an enlightening one. It did a little. We've learned a bit about Kisei's past. Yeah, you know, if you don't do it during lunch, you won't ever... Yeah. It's always the thing. If you have to do something now, or, you know, you'll just... Yeah, once you start procrastinating, it's easy to keep procrastinating. You don't want to disappoint your cousin. No. Would your cousin start nagging you about it if you didn't? So she does, in fact, hail from Shinosato. And you say she has possessed these divine gifts since childhood? Or at least from relatively early in her life. I wasn't given a particular age. Well, genuine or no, the people believe her, and more flock to her side with every passing day. But the returnees are safe at the Kienkan, its defences bolstered. As for the blasphemy, I have spoken with our Confederate allies, among others, and together we will establish a network of contacts across the length and breadth of Doma. Take up the search in earnest. Mark my words, we will find it. Nagging and just... You feel she's becoming increasingly convinced? Yeah, well... Hopefully you'll get... So it won't be too long before you can get some... like, proper medical opinion on it. You've arrived not a moment too soon. The blasphemy has been sighted on the coast. For mercy, there are no reported casualties as of yet. We found it? Just the man I was hoping to see. No sooner had we cast wide our net, but a Confederate messenger was at our door. If you would join us, Rasho awaits our arrival at Onokoro. Right. I feel the situation in Doma is still a little volatile when it comes to the appearance of blasphemies, but it's maybe still better than letting one run loose. Well now, that the noble Lord of Doma should come in person once again. Mayhap these blasphemies truly are a threat. Indeed they are. And I was told you and yours sighted our quarry quite recently. Aye, that we did. Near the islands of Shoal Rock. The beast appeared to be docile by all accounts, but appearances can be deceiving. If it is as you say, and this blasphemy has eyes only for former conscripts, then we have naught to fear. I trust those we accepted into our care are still in yours at the Kienkan, enjoying the finest Doman hospitality. Anyway, I know not why it came to the Ruby Sea, nor why it remains idle, but if we act quickly, there's a chance we can take it unawares. I propose we divide our forces. If you're willing to go ashore, we'll take a ship and circle about the islands. The first to find it will have the honor of the kill. A simple enough plan. Shall we be off to Shoal Rock then? Got an energy drink to bring you back to life. That's good. At least you got your energy drink for your second half of the day. Right. So it should be somewhere on this island. This is where the blasphemy was last sighted. If the fates are kind, this will all be over soon. That's it. Let's put over the water. What? Damn. Such speed. I doubt even my falcons could keep pace with it. Don't tell me that's the blasphemy flying off into the distance. Unfortunately... I hope the ill will it bore me in life might compel the beast to stay and fight. Perhaps less of Minato remains than I thought. Minato? That monstrosity was... Minato? You knew her? Her family tried to flee to Hengashi during the occupation, but their ship was raided and sunk. When we happened upon the wreckage, she was huddled between her parents on a piece of flotsam, desperate to keep warm, but they had long since grown cold. We took her to Onokuro where we nursed her back to health. Couldn't imagine what horror she must have witnessed. The mere sight of our weapons was enough to make her start screaming. He was clearly unfit for our trade, so we sought a village that might take her in. Isari was that village. Several months later, I chanced to meet her on this very beach. She was in the company of a young Ori fisherman. I knew at once she had found more than a home there. I saw them here many times after that. She found something comforting about this place, I think. According to reports from Razatan, memories and desires of those who turn can influence their behavior as blasphemies. Then perhaps Minato's memories are what compelled the beast to come here. That would also explain its timid nature. Minato was never one for violence. The sight of you, blade drawn, no doubt stirred what little of the woman remains in the monster. If that is the case, an assault on the Kyenkan is unlikely, guarded as it is by our samurai. But how are we to fight an enemy so quick to flee at the first sign of danger? That is a question. Robbed of her parents, her husband, and now her life. I would rather we didn't have to at all. But I understand full well the risk we take by doing nothing. If we catch sight of the blasphemy again, you'll be the first to know. Perhaps next time we can put her soul to rest. There is naught to do now but bide our time. Come, let us return to the Enclave. I wonder, what actually do we do? Blasphemies we fought weren't... They were elusive, but they weren't so quick to run away at any sign of danger. Given what we have learned, it seems likely that the blasphemy will return to Shoal Rock. That knowledge will avail us naught if we cannot prevent it from escaping again. Kisei. Lord Hien, on behalf of the people of Asari, we are come with a request. We welcome you with open arms and open hearts. What is it you would ask of me? Those returned to us in the prisoner exchange have been granted shelter at the Kyenkan. That they yet live is an affront to the Kami's grand design, and the spirits of our loved ones suffer for it. Balance must needs be restored, and so I beseech you to render them unto the goddess Izanami. You want us to... Absolutely not. It is not our place to pray for the deaths of others, nor draw steel to sate mere bloodlust. When I take a life, be it by my command or by my own hand, I do so not in service to vengeance, but to uphold my duty to Doma and her people. How did your mercy for Yotsuyu serve your duty? How were your people made better by the sight of her walking free? For her crimes and her cruelty, I cut her down the day we took Doma Castle. I sought to kill her, and by rights she should have died then and there. But the Kami willed otherwise, and returned her to us alive and bereft of her memories. With no recollection of her deeds, it would have been Tsuyu who faced punishment, not Yotsuyu. This was my judgment, and for it you were denied the justice you deserved. You have every right to resent me. But you come before me and ask that I sacrifice men and women whose only crime was to suffer, to be condemned to a life of servitude. If you truly believe your cause to be sacrosanct, believe yourselves fit to bear the burden and swing the sword, then step forward. Sophistry and lies. They were meant to die. The spirits demand it. Are these the words of the dead, or the living who yet mourn? That's... Gorsets? Gorsets? Word of the Astari priestess and her gifts has spread far and wide. I fought to see the truth of it myself. By coincidence, I crossed paths with a traveller hailing from the self-same village, who had a mind to return as well, but, alas, could not. And so he bid me deliver a missive in his stead. Judging by the striking resemblance, I take it you are the young fisher Akitsu. This is a letter from my father. He was severely wounded in battle, but expects to make a full recovery. His father, then that means he's alive, but that would mean... Kisei is... Oh, surely a woman of your talents can divine a plausible explanation for this turn of events. Oh, big order to do. Oh, have fun, Minnie. You shall pay for this continually. My daughter will make certain of that. So it was just a... She was faking it. You really have some timing, Gosetsu. It's good to see you again. Apologies for the abrupt and otherwise unannounced arrival. As you can see, my Lord Hien, I am returned. Full glad am I for it. Thanks to your timely arrival, we have given the lie to Kisei's claims of preternatural powers. I gather you are apprised of recent events. Aye, it did not take long to learn the state of affairs here in Doma, that my assistance may be required. I had heard tales of Kisei channeling the dead, including the father of one young fisherman. Imagine my surprise when I saw this spirit in the flesh. He was also on pilgrimage, paying respects to the departed, and we chanced to meet in a Liberation Front infirmary. Would that we were not brought back together under such circumstances. I am glad to see you all hale and hearty. Same to you, Gosetsu. Shame Lise and the others aren't here. Oh, Tombo, was it? Tombo, is something the matter? I wish to apologize, Lord Hien. It was wrong of me to say the things I said. I understand nothing can bring back my father, but I was so angry, Please, Tombo. You needn't apologize. It's just... My brother was always so brave, but... Father's death was more than he could bear, and it turned him into that monster. If he wasn't brave enough, what chance do I have? We wanted to perform the rites for Father, but the body was never returned to us, so... No, not that I blame you for that, Lord Ian. I understand. Nothing could be done. That Akitsu's father survived is nothing short of a miracle. But I fear he is indeed the rare exception. I have offered prayers at more graves than I can count. It would be cruel to give others the false hope that their loved ones might return. And yet Kisei continues to do just that, offering comfort with her lies. A tempting but ephemeral balm for wounds that have yet to heal. Much like the anger some harbor for you, or the resentment for their families restored, while theirs remain broken. And for those like that poor boy whose hearts lack for hatred, who know only sadness and despair. Aye, they too may turn. Exposing the truth of Kisei's deception hasn't helped matters. If we are to prevent more suffering, we must pursue a lasting solution. I would be most grateful for your counsel, Gosetsu. There's much I could learn from your pilgrimage. If there's aught you require, but say the word and it shall be done. It is the least I can do for the part I played in Yotsu's tragedy. I failed her in the end. I will not fail you, my lord. Thank you again for your aid, Sorin. The day's events have given me much to consider. When our next step is decided, you will be the first to know. All the times Gosetsu could have chosen to come back. Wonder what the plan is now. Regrettably, there have been no sightings of the Blasphemies since our first encounter at Shoal Rock. As Tansui surmised, it seems to fear confrontation. We, for our part, have tried to make good use of this intervening calm. Even now, Lord Hien and Gosetsu discuss how we might prevent other villagers from turning. If you would wait here a moment, he would no doubt wish to hear your thoughts on the matter. Right. Sorin, so glad you could come. As Yugiri no doubt explained, the blasphemy continues to elude us. And so, we have turned our attention to other matters we can and should address. After long discussions and much deliberation, we believe we have found a means to allay the growing malaise of our people. If you would, Gosetsu. Let's hear it. The idea came to us after considering young Tombo's remarks about his father, whose body was never found and returned to Doma. Others no doubt share in his melancholy, unable to bury and mourn their loved ones as is their right. Put simply, they cannot make peace with their loss. Their anguish, if left to linger, may consume them as well. That we might provide the people of Doma with comfort and closure, we will hold a national funeral at the Swallow's Compass. Those who choose to attend will be asked to present personal effects of the deceased they wish to be enshrined there. Spirits reside in all things, be they living or inanimate, and though we may die, a part of us lives on in the items we cherished most in life. Therefore, in lieu of remains, these belongings will be afforded a place in the Royal Mausoleum, that the spirits of those lost to us may find their way home to Doma, and at last know peace. The announcement has already been made. and a great many people are now engaged in the difficult task of deciding which keepsake will serve as their offering. It is not a decision to be made lightly, but I suspect they will have made their minds up by the time we go to collect their chosen tokens. I also hope to learn more about the departed, from those willing to speak with me, for my benefit and for theirs. Excuse me. To break free of their sorrow, they must seek joy in the memories and the love they shared with the departed, and I will help them find it. Might the Liberator of Doma be willing to favour the people with his presence as well? I doubt not that they will appreciate the gesture. Of course, if you'd have me. Good. Yugiri, I leave the people of Asari to you. Gosetsu, might I ask you to... Apologies, my lord, but there is a small, but most urgent matter I must first attend to. Gosetsu is... Very well, I shall not pry. Now, Sorin, let us go and pay a visit to the good people of Namai. Right. I guess Gorsuch's got... I suppose he's been away for a while. Maybe thinks he has to catch up on now he's back in Doma. Right then. Before we begin, I'd remind you that you need only listen to the tales of their loved ones. As overseer of the ceremony, I see it as my duty to deliver their effects personally. Because of this, it is of utmost importance that we keep clear of any beasts that might damage our cargo. It goes without saying how important it is that their offerings are delivered in pristine condition. And I will be no good to you in a fight while heavily encumbered. If stealth or flight are not options, I must ask that you fight for us both. But we needn't worry unless the occasion arises. For now, let us be off. Right, so we're just... speaking to the villagers? I pray this ceremony helps them find the closure they so rightfully deserve. Let's see if we can have a look. Hello, sir. I must thank you again, Lord Hien, for this honor. My son would have been overjoyed to know that his katana would be enshrined at the Swallow's compass. Nay, the honor is mine. I'm sure your son was a fine warrior. Aye, and so was I once upon a time. A samurai, as it happens, in service to your father when the Empire first invaded our lands. Though we were defeated, our spirits broken, my son, Modosue, was never one to lose hope. He was determined to follow in my footsteps, gave his everything to honing his skill with the blade. When I watched him train, I felt the pride I thought I'd forsaken swell in my breast. And I knew he would restore our family to its former glory. Alas. He could have fled, perhaps started life anew as a vagabond of some sorts. But he bore the burden and fought for Garlemald, for fear of what the Imperials might do if he did not. Tis plain he was a loving son and a warrior true. I will care for his blade as if it were my own, and see it given the honor and respect due a samurai of Doma. Everyone here really has. Not exactly. Their pasts here aren't exactly most happy memories. My husband, my dear sweet Maroya, never returned from Garlemald. But perhaps now his soul might know peace. Please, take this painting brush to the Swallow's compass. I shall handle it with the utmost care. Might we trouble you to tell us some more about your husband? Excuse me? Mario was a kind and gentle soul. There was nothing he loved more in the world than to create. That brush never left his side, not even when he tended the fields. Any spare moment was dedicated to his craft, and he produced the most wonderful vistas of Yansha. It was his dream to take us to Kugane, where he would become a famous artist, until he was conscripted. In the early days, he would send drawings of the places they took him, though I know not how. But more time began to pass between each arrival, and then they stopped coming altogether. I know not what far-flung land he died, but I pray it was as beautiful as his works. He sounds like quite a man, to hold fast to his art, even when forced to endure such hardship. His soul will find peace, of that I have no doubt. At least no one else is going to lose family to Garlemald's occupations. I realize it's quite large, but I wanted to offer this on behalf of my brother and our father. This is a Shiru. A what? If you are willing, I would very much like to hear more about them both. My father, he was a carpenter. He was a good man, if a bit stubborn, always thinking about his work. The only time he ever seemed to enjoy himself was when he had a cup of sake in his hand. When my brother came of age, he took up the trade as well. It brought them closer. I'd see them laughing over drinks together, or listening in silence to the crickets singing under the moonlight. I wanted to join them one day. This was their favorite sake. I thought they might miss it. I'm sure it will taste all the sweeter having come from you. I realize no one can ever replace your brother or father, but if you will allow, I would be honored to share drinks with you in their stead. When you are of age, of course. That should be everything. Would you join me for a short reprieve before our journey back? Of course. Do you need an extra hand carrying any of this, Ortian? They put on brave faces, but the people of Namai are still racked with grief. It is the same at every village I have visited in recent days. It is only now that I am struck by the contradictory nature of my goals. Having joined the Eastern Alliance and taken steps to revitalize the Enclave, I believed Doma was at last on the path to peace and prosperity. I still do, yet by focusing so keenly on the future, I have neglected the past that yet haunts my people. Even if they do not give in to despair and become beasts that plague our lands like poor Tombo's brother, how are we to truly move forward if we are constantly looking back? Forgive me for saying so, Lord Hien, but is that not true of yourself? Me? All things considered, I suppose it was only a matter of time before the subject was broached. Ha! He got to the heart of the matter, and the young lord. For the best, I should think, for he cannot lead by example if he has not yet made peace with his own past. Gosetsu. 1,000 apologies, my lord. I was passing through, tending to the matters of which I spoke earlier, when I chanced to hear familiar voices in the distance. If I may be so bold, the people of Doma, one and all, understand the source of your pain. To lose your father in the turmoil of a failed rebellion, his staggering duty to the throne thrust upon you. Aye. How could you even begin to mourn when first you had to lead? It would behoove you to take place in the funeral rites, my lord. Take this time to make peace with your past, while it is still yours to spend. Though unlikely, if not impossible, were you to become a monster as well, Doma would surely be lost. I thank you for your counsel, Gosetsu. But, if I may ask, why is it you keep your blade at the ready? I thought this personal matter of yours to be naught but a trifle. Or am I mistaken? Well, I find a katana a superior tool for peeling persimmons. Speaking of which, I do believe my stomach begs for sustenance. If you will excuse me. Training. To help slay the blasphemy, no doubt. Fitting that he should offer me counsel, yet refuse to heed it in kind. He is not the warrior he once was, but he is wise, our obstinate friend. If I am to be perfectly honest, it frightens me to recall it. The moment it all came crashing down. We'd taken Doma Castle. Victory was ours. Then we looked out and saw the banners of the 12th Legion, marching towards us. The Crown Prince at the fore. No sooner had Gosetsu and I escaped than we received word that Xenos had slain my father. I remember how the fight went out of Gosetsu in an instant. How he wept for his lord, while I felt the weight of the profound duty bear down upon my shoulders, crushing, suffocating. The heat of my own breath, the chill of my clammy palms. But duty demanded I master my emotions, when all those around me, Gosetsu included, were consumed by anger and a thirst for vengeance. I had to be in control. Under my orders, we dispersed, and fled to fight another day. To this day, I have not stopped to reflect on my father's death. How could I? Devoted as I am to finding Doma's way forward. This is your chance. Now I must. And so, having taken you into my confidence, would you see this through with me to journey's end? Of course I will. The keepsake I would offer up for the funeral is hidden in a place not easily reached. We will have to fly there, I'm afraid, but worry not. My yawl will ferry us. Just a moment. We both have partners. The place we seek is in Plum Spring, in the mountains. Shall we? Plum Spring? I don't know if I've been there. Unfortunately, a lot of my time in Yansha, we didn't have time for sightseeing. This is... Certainly out of the way. Wonder who discovered this grove. My parents would bring me here for Hanami as a child. Its beauty and serenity was such that I could forget the realities of the occupation. Indeed, some of my fondest memories of family are here. Which is precisely why I chose this place to conceal the singular gift my father bequeathed to me as a child. What did he... That's... Charming, is it not? The great auspice Kishan Dasheng, set to reside somewhere along the Dairyu chain. About that. Maybe that's a tale for another time. In those days, anyone and everyone knew the tales of his prowess. Reckless boy that I was, I once even tried to seek him out, hoping he might help us. I buried it here, shortly after my coming-of-age ceremony. It seemed a fitting place to both part with my childhood and offer a final goodbye to my mother. More a keepsake of mine than his, to be sure, but he was never a man of worldly possessions. Still, I suspect he would allow himself a rare smile if he were to see it again after all these years. And that is precisely how I wish to bid him farewell. With a smile. It should go without saying I would prefer it not to become known that I kept the stall here. Wouldn't want the children to grow jealous now, would we? Secret safe with me, Lord Ian. And with that, I believe it is time we return to the Enclave. There are yet more villages to visit and offerings to collect, but preparations are proceeding apace. Soon the people will have one less cause to be tempted down the path of despair. Of course, there still remains the problem of the blasphemy. The former conscripts will remain at the Kienkan until it has been dealt with. We will slay the beast in due time, but before that, I would be honoured if you were present for the funeral rites. Pray speak with Ugiri when next you visit the Enclave, and she will tell you more of the proceedings. Right. And the final visit. As ever, your timing is impeccable. We but moments ago completed preparations for the funeral. Oh, get back just in time, Minnie. I will inform Lord Hien of your arrival. You're here. Excellent. The blasphemy continues to shun our settlements, and I mean to make the most of the time its absence affords us. I assume you are planning to take part in the ceremony? If you would have me. Glad to hear it. Unfortunately, Gosetsu will not be joining us today. That's a bit of a surprise. He's injured himself, as I knew he would with his secret training, and now grumbles from the confines of his bed. But he'll be fine in due course. We may worry over his convalescence after the funeral. I always did think he wouldn't be able to sit still for too long. I do hope he hasn't injured himself too badly. I forget you can use mounts in the Enclave. I do love the way mounts bank. Like side to side now. Makes the movement feel that little bit more immersive. The villagers should arrive ere long. Then we may begin. No, trying to send some emails before watching this. Oh. Kisei. Lord Hien, I apologize, my lord, for my past transgressions. I yearned to believe my daughter was a kami reborn, but you were right. She is a monster. Words can ill express my shame for advocating the conscripts be sacrificed to appease the dead. Nay, this ceremony shall serve far, far better. And so, as a humble citizen of Doma, I offer my deepest gratitude, and beg for your forgiveness. I would make an offering on behalf of my husband and son, as well as my dear, sweet Minato. I throw myself on your mercy, Lord Hien. Allow them a place within the mausoleum, that their spirits may know peace. There's no need to beg forgiveness, Kisei. Please, rise. She will come for you. That... By the Kami, she gave her life to draw out the blasphemy. Shame she couldn't stay alive long enough to watch it. See, I imagine that just would have led to Hisei herself becoming a blasphemy, to be fair. Duty commenced. Alright. Wish it was in better circumstances. Okay, I can't make Yugiri a dance partner. I completely forgot where I'd assigned Head Breeze. Ow. It hurt her more. Oh! I forgot I still have Japanese audio enabled. Oh, careful. It's been that long since I've been doing story progression as my main character that I'm not used to changing the language. Ow. Hey. Oh. Oh. I'm doing bad. At least I think the combat dialogue isn't plot relevant. Careful. Everyone on me? This isn't going too well. Come on. That's not good. I can't move. That's... Apologies for the untimely arrival, my lord. Gosetsu? This is... Gosetsu. What is that staff? Pilgrim... Oh, excuse me. Pilgrimage proved a most enlightening experience. And is where I chanced to discover the benefits of ascetic training. I may no longer be fit to wield a blade, my lord, but Shugendo affords me another way to turn the tide of battle. This is healing magic. Stubborn as ever. I shall have to thank you later. Let us put an end to this. All right. Is you carried? Yep, okay. Saves don't matter. Let's do this again. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. I'm in the wrong place. Sorry, Gosetsu. Hey, I am doing badly at reacting to the mechanics in this one. This again. Can't hit from here. Again. Just have to be careful. Make sure I stick with ghost sets this time. Hold on there, ghost sets. Nope. There we go, interrupted. I got it this time. Third time's the charm. Just a little more. Nearly. We did it. Lord... Kisei. A deceiver to the bitter end. But she is still a daughter of Doma. She will have a proper burial, and her family's belongings enshrined with the others. I have gathered you here today, not to speak of the future, but to reflect on the past. To pay respects to loved ones fallen on the field of battle. In honor of their sacrifices, these sons and daughters of Doma shall be given a place here at the Swallow's Compass. Though they no longer walk with us in life, they walk with us in spirit. Pray, never forget their bravery. That the memories of their legacy give you comfort and strength. Mario Motokawa, the aspiring painter. He was a man who saw beauty in all things, and one day would have become a renowned artist in Kugane. Motosui Jito, the warrior in training. He longed to become a samurai like his father, and bring honor to his family. Suzushiro Kodakumi, the carpenter, a man wholly dedicated to his craft, who hoped to one day pass on his talents to his two loving children. And lastly, Minato Shihogaki, and her mother-in-law Kisei. Theirs was once a happiness to be envied. Minato's parents were murdered by Imperial soldiers, and after being rescued by the Confederacy, Minato was given into the care of the village of Asari. Though she arrived with a broken heart, it was soon mended by the man who would become her husband, the son of Kisei, who herself had been born to Isari on winds of tragedy. Kisei was a child of the deep, born in Shinosato. For her gifts she was exiled, but with her courage and tenacity found a new home on the shores of the Ruby Sea. She was a devoted wife and mother, and though not related by blood, she loved Minato as if she were their own. That is how she lived, how they all lived, and how they should be remembered. Let your hearts swell not with sorrow, but with joy for their memory. Know that proof of their mark left on this world shall remain here, enshrined within the Swallow's Compass for all eternity. Let us still our voices, and in silence pray for their souls, that they may share in the peace we have found. Okay, you missed. I was expecting something from Endwalker, like Pandemonium or Myths of the Realm. I hadn't realized. Wouldn't have expected you were missing Shadowbringers content on your main character. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting Battle of a Blasphemy as a prelude to the ceremony. At least now we may breathe easy, if only for a short while. The villagers have all returned home, and I believe it is time we did the same. You weren't expecting that? Yeah, I am pretty surprised you'd managed to miss out on it. Oh well. It's nothing you can't catch up on. do wish in the end Kisei had been able to find common ground with us. Guess her own grief was too much. I suppose all we could say is that at least she died as herself. About transforming. The queue times would oh. Yeah, I suppose that's kind of fair. We've held a national funeral and slain a blasphemy besides. A rather productive day, would you not agree? The former conscripts will be elated to finally return home. Speaking of returns, I think I speak for us all when I say your appearance at the Swallow's Compass came as something of a shock. What of your injuries from training? Quite painful for some time, I assure you. Despite my best efforts to reclaim my former skills, my back and my hips vigorously protested. I planned to sleep that I might be well rested for the morrow's hunt, but a voice called out to me. I was needed, and so I grabbed my cane and ran as quickly as my alien body would allow. The cane suits you, Gosetsu, but your mastery of healing magics was a sight to behold. Almost as surprising as your resurrection following the fall of Doma Castle. I am still but a novice in dire need of training. It is my hope that I will be able to refine my ascetic arts during my next pilgrimage. So you are leaving then? Worry not, Lord Ian. Did you find yourself in dire straits once more? I shall fly to your side. Not as a samurai, perhaps, but I will nonetheless give our enemies cause to tremble. And with that, I take my leave. Though it may be years, if not decades, until we truly make peace with our past, we have turned a corner and begun to heal. We may look to the future unburdened by grief ignored and sadness denied. The path ahead is ever fraught with peril, but we shall walk it with eyes unclouded, and with pride. You have done so much for us, for Doma. I wish there was more I could do for you. You really don't need to. I'm just glad to be of help. If I may ask one last favor before you leave, please inform our representative at Razatan that blasphemy has been vanquished, and the people of Doma are safe. If any luck, our experiences here will prove useful to other nations that yet grapple with these beasts. Oh, I was on my way back there anyway. I feel I can be confident that Doma's a bit more secure now. And if I recall correctly, that leaves just a Gridanian delegate at Razatan. Ooh. Sir? Master Sorin, you are returned. What word from Doma? The Blasphemies been slain and... oh, a few things happened while we were there. The Blasphemy is no more. That is most wonderful news. I must inform the other delegates at once. Thank you again for answering our summons. If another threat should rear its dastardly head, I pray we can count on your assistance again. Is he... I'm trying to remember the other ones, but he doesn't comment on, like... I think both in Ishgard and Limsa, at least, like, both the delegates comment on the other services you helped with. I can't remember if they did in Mhigo. In Mhigo, I think they did as well. Right. I'm not finishing the stream here, but I'm taking a brief break. I just need to run to the bathroom for a moment. But I will be returning to start the Gridanian questline. The get the tank role quests in. But yeah, just give me 5 minutes. Apologies for the wait. I really should put in the time to make a be right back screen. It's one of the weird things that hay fever season that tends to result in me going to the toilet more often. Because I have when your throat's sore, at least for me, I end up trying to. I find taking a drink, a sip of something helps soothe your throat a little. So I end up drinking more when my hay fever's acting up. But over to Paladin. Oh yeah, health gauge unlocked. Oh, that's right. Do I have to adjust anything? I don't think I need. Because, yeah, there have been some changes, haven't there? Yeah, because Fight or Flight becomes Goring Blade, so I can probably remove that there and put Fight or Flight there. Gives me another free slot here to put something on. I need to be more accessible. I know the only other thing is that this Atonement is now a combo. But it automatically updates. Maybe it's not a bad idea to have Clemency being a little more accessible. Alright. Also, I kind of feel I might try and push this stream to be a little longer. And finish the finish the tank quests, so that next stream I can start right back into the main story quests again. But I'll see how I'm feeling. I have come on behalf of the Twin Adders to enlist the aid of accomplished fighters. The small folk cower in their homes for fear of an unprecedented threat to the 12th Wood. A blasphemy. It strikes quickly and with deadly precision before returning to the shadows whence it came. Try as we might, we have yet to devise a means to track it, much less slay it. Several brave souls search for it even now, but their chances would improve greatly if they had a stout protector by their side. Judging by your reputation, I dare say you're precisely the man we seek. What say you? Will you serve as the shield that stands between Gridania and certain doom? You've made it difficult. I'm here to help. Just let me know where to go. I will take that as an enthusiastic yes. Make haste to the Adder's Nest and report to my superior. All Gridania shall pray for your success. Okay, now this is... I do wonder if the lag is going to spike up a little bit in Gridania, because Gridania is where the Pictomonster quest starts. And it's been quite busy the last couple of times I've visited. But maybe things have died down now. Maybe everyone who's got the early access have taken the opportunity to start. Yeah, it looks like the case. Things feel a little calmer. Our liaison at Razatan sent word of your arrival. I can still scarcely believe our luck. Are you truly here to help us bring this wicked blasphemy to heel? That's right. Then there is hope for us yet. I shall fetch the Elder Seedseer at once. She is leading the hunt, and I am certain she'll be most eager to see you. The Elder Seedseer herself? Elder Seedseer? Full glad am I to welcome you in good health and good spirits, Sorin. On behalf of all Gridania, allow me to thank you for rising to our defense yet again. Of course. You will forgive me for eschewing further formalities, as time is of the essence. I shall share with you what little we know of this elusive scourge. Following the events in Thavnair, we received a report that an unidentified man had fallen into fits on the road before transforming into a beast most foul. A blasphemy, we soon determined. Eyewitnesses to subsequent attacks spoke of patterns on its skin, reminiscent of heavy chains. And thus we have named it Glepnir, but a creature of legend. It emerges from the brush without warning, bringing destruction and tragedy to those unfortunate enough to be near. Ere we can respond, it retreats into hiding, leaving no trace for us to follow. The elementals cry out to us. Cry out for us to rid the forest of this wicked presence. Yet even if we tracked it to its lair, I fear besting the beast would be no simple matter. What do you mean? The wounds of Gleipnir's victims are tainted by corruption. We can but conclude that the fiend's fangs, claws, and horns are all imbued with a powerful poison. Poison? The smallest scratch sends the afflicted into fits, and death soon follows. That's... Mayhap you know of the creeping death. The effects of Gleipnir's vile poison bear more than a passing similarity to the symptoms of that deadly plague. I believe I've heard of it in passing. It swept through the Twelves Wood many years ago. The sick found their skin covered in chain-like patterns, and spent their final moments in excruciating pain. It was long before I came to Gridania, but people still speak of it with dread. Is it true that the disease spared not a single cure? Very nearly, yes. Before the remainder were taken, we were able to devise a cure from the Glimshroom. Slow though it was, the scars of this tragedy could then begin to heal. Gleipnir threatens to reopen old wounds, I fear. Yet despite the similarities between the Blasphemies' corruption and the creeping death's marks, it is unclear how these two phenomena are related, if at all. Both conjuring and white magic have failed to abate the poison's spread. To confront Gleipnir now would place our soldiers at risk of grievous injury. Guess that's why I'm here. Forgive me, Elder Seedseer, but this appears to be urgent. What? Again? What's happened? Gleipnir struck once more. In the North Shroud. The Whalers came too late to see the beasts themselves, but the man it attacked yet lives. They are bringing him to Fallgourd Float as we speak. Then we must meet them there. Will you accompany us, Sorin? Ethelmere should be able to apprise us of the details upon our arrival. I'll meet you there. Right. Hopefully we're not too late to do something. Actually, while I remember, other settings, set things like English. Not that it's going to be important for a little bit, but Elder Seedseer, you honour us with your presence. I cannot thank you enough for coming all this way. Given the dire circumstances, I would not leave this to another. Where is the wounded man? Outside of the bobbing cork, being attended to by one of our healers. He's a capable healer, but I worry this is beyond his abilities. I shall do all in my power to aid him. I in turn may have need of assistance as well. I ask that you stay close, both of you. Of course. Someone else doing the... Oh, that looks like a different quest. He's still alive. He's a hardy soul, but I'm utterly at a loss. While I manage to heal his wounds, the poison lingers. I fear the worst is yet to come. When I removed his clothes for treatment, I recognized the chains. This is indeed the creeping death. Do not lose heart. I shall spare no effort. Rest for now. We may have needs of your talents again ere long. She goes, man! She goes! Bloody swarm of them! That came from the east gate. The Chigos are known as carriers of the creeping death. The villagers are on edge. If they think the Vilekin harbingers of another plague, they may panic. Pray see to the Chigos. I shall remain here with the victim. Right. So the least we can do is deal with some bugs. Sir? They were near Alder Springs. A whole swarm of them. Like an army getting ready for war. Bringing a creeping death like it's not. Look at me dropping dead with no rhyme or reason. And I'm not about to join them, no sir. Came running back fast as my legs could carry me. Were you bitten? I'll show you to a hero if so. Not a single hole that doesn't belong. You can be sure. You'd best do something about that swarm though. Would that we could, but keeping the gate manned is our priority. And we have not the numbers to spare for a hunting party. By the time Whaler reinforcements arrive, it may be too late. We'll deal with the Chigos. The one who culls the greater number owes the other a flagon of ale, aye? Sounds good to me. I commend your bravery. Godspeed. Don't get bitten. Excuse me. Let's got this side covered. Excuse me, sir, are you okay? Okay, not okay. More. I did say it was a swarm. I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised. Still more. Sir? It's okay. I think the coast is clear. You weren't hurt. The 12 be praised! And you? I've come bearing a cure for the creeping death. It's of little use against actual death. Right. I think the coast back to the Falkwood Float is clear. Aye. That's why I've come. I'd heard tell of a man suffering from uncommon pains at Falkwood Float. I sensed an opportunity for philanthropy. And a touch of profit, I'll admit. But if what you say is true, his condition demands a much swifter pair of feet than mine. Did you bring the medicine to him in my stead? No need for payment this time, of course. Thank you. You've saved my life. One good turn deserves another. I only hope the cure works as well as purported. As for me, I'll be on my way, and give any Valkan I spy a wide berth. Be careful. Magic might not be effective, but the Elder Seedseer said that before they were able to make a medicine. So maybe... Elder Seedseer? Thank you for calling to Mhigo's. Alas, our patient's condition has yet to improve, and it is all we can do to keep him from succumbing to the poison. About that. I met a merchant while I was out there. He said he had a cure. I know this medicine. It was once used to treat the creeping death. Given his symptoms, it may well prove effective here as well. It works upon the body quite quickly, as I recall. Hold on just a while longer, my friend. The medicine will soon relieve your pain. It hurts. It hurts. Why? Why? The man's shrieks die in his throat as his body is racked by violent convulsions. He then falls still and quiet, as if his breath was snatched from his chest. Sorry. Well, have mercy. At the very least, his suffering is over. Had we been quicker to deliver the medicine, would he have lived? I think not. He was doomed from the moment the poison entered his blood. As will be others if we do not soon gain an understanding of our foe. Let this tragedy not be in vain, but serve as a lesson. Though the effects of Gleipnir's corruption resemble the creeping death, it is clear that the two share little else in common. Poison burns through the body more quickly than any disease. Too deadly is it to be borne by creatures so fragile as Mhigo's, or any other besides. Then that is one less possibility that people need fear. It is a shame a life was lost, but this knowledge may help us ensure that others are not. Excuse me. Spread word, but do so with delicacy. In these troubled times, fear and despair can drive even the goodliest of souls to desperate ends. Gleipnir is the only blasphemy known to us in Gridania. For now, we must do our utmost to stop them from sowing further discord. Understood, Elder Seedseer. I'll give this man a proper burial before sharing what we've discovered. Ascertaining Gleipnir's whereabouts is still a primary concern. Let us return to the Adder's Nest, for information shall be our most reliable weapon in the days ahead, and there is no better place to acquire it. Right. Looks like Gleipnir's well isn't going to be easy to track down. Doesn't seem like any of the blasphemies make it easy for us. Must have just been luck that we found the one in Thavnair as early as we did. Gleipnir has been sighted in various locales. Though we were reviewing every report, we suspect most are erroneous. Fear has a way of making one jump at shadows. It will take some time before we have determined which reports merit a more involved investigation. Until then, I ask that you stay vigilant and keep your eyes peeled for any sign of blasphemy. We have followed up on every report concerning Gleipnir, even those that beggared belief. The most promising suggest the blasphemy is currently stalking the South Shroud. We are to proceed there at once, but there is no telling when it might strike again. The Elder Seedseer is already en route to Roots Lake. Let us not keep her waiting. It's near Camp Tranquil, isn't it? There they are. Elder Seedseer? Greetings, Sorin. As luck would have it, my sister Ryo frequents Camp Tranquil. We would do well to meet with her first, for she may have knowledge of this threat that can aid us in our search. Right. It has been too long, Ryo. Akane! I was afraid the situation might force your arrival. This reunion was under more joyous circumstances. And you are here to serve as protector to my sister, yes? I commend your courage. Gleipnir, like all blasphemies, is a fearsome foe that we must nevertheless rise to meet as one. If it's any consolation, every other blasphemy I've met is... we've won. Every moment is crucial, so let us dispense with further pleasantries. Have you received word of Gleipnir's whereabouts? I have. It recently ambushed a poor traveller who succumbed to his wounds soon thereafter. A tragic and increasingly common tale. No others in Camp Tranquil have come to harm, but some claim they feel a presence in the distant trees, staring at them with a malicious intensity. They struggle to find the courage to venture beyond the safety of the camp. All its victims exhibit symptoms reminiscent of the creeping death. Gleipnir's corruption seems only to affect those who have been assaulted by the blasphemy itself. We have yet to confirm a single instance of it spreading from one individual to another. That's somewhat reassuring, but it will provide little comfort to the people here, I think. If Gleipnir comes, any defense we mount will come at great cost. Those who fall wounded will invariably die. I'm at a loss. The people under my care can see it. They grow tense and bicker amongst themselves. Some even accuse me of standing idly by while this monster roams free, as if I'm not doing all that I can. I apologize. Would that I had come to you sooner. Would that there was more I could offer you. You're doing everything you can, Elder Seedseer. You can't overburden yourself. He's right. It is the duty of all Seedseers to face this threat, and so we should do so together, with the aid of the elementals as well. Under different circumstances, I would agree, but their strength has waned since the calamity, and I am reluctant to impose upon them. Indeed, when I open my thoughts to the elementals, I shudder to hear their distress. Once we have laid low the blasphemy, the elementals will be at peace. Well then, how do you propose we go about that? First, allow me to speak with the people here, and assure them that all will be well. That Gridania's resolve to weather this storm remains steadfast. No road is closed to the true of heart. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised at you to begin with an earnest and heartfelt appeal. For my part, I shall reach out to Aaron. Perhaps together we can find a way to offer similar comfort to the elementals. I have no doubt we will require their assistance in the days ahead. Has Aaron returned to Gridania? He's not still in... with the Elsbart contingent, is he? Thank you, sister. May the 12 watch over and keep you both. I guess maybe I can still get in touch with him, even if he is still in Garlemald. May I trouble you to accompany me? The presence of a storied hero would surely lend credence to my claims that the people's difficulties will soon be at an end. Of course. While you attend to that, I shall gather what information I can from the woodwhalers stationed here. Pray look for me at the camp proper when you have finished. Great weather for wandering around. If we are to convince the people that they need not live in fear of Gleipnir, then my words alone may be insufficient. I do not comport myself as an imposing figure blessed with martial prowess, to say the least. You, on the other hand, are renowned as a peerless warrior who has triumphed in countless trials. Simply looking on your features fills me with confidence that this crisis too shall pass. Arcs ever? I pray you stay by my side, that those we speak with might be joyed by your presence. Is that the pre-order mount? Or is it the Dawn Trail mount, like Priest? Oh, okay. I can't remember, did I get the version that gets you that? Or did I get... I can't remember what version I picked up. I saw it! A gargantuan beast stalking the woods, with horns the size of my leg. What's to stop it from coming here to fill its belly? Gleipnir will do no such thing, I swear. I shall see to it personally that the blasphemy does not come within a mom of this village. Keep heart, for brighter days lie ahead of us. Truly, Elder Sootsir? Perhaps I've let my imagination get the better of me. You are a beacon in these dark times. I pray you restore to peace soon. I shall. You can be certain. Is that this is that only the pre? I don't know if I got that, because I know I got the earrings and the Dominion, but I don't know if that was the same version that you buy the more expensive do. I can't remember. Like it was a while ago. It was a while ago I picked it up, Nam, and we all know here that my memory is not great. A single scratch is enough to spell one's doom, they say. Nothing but to wait for death to come. How can we face a beast like that? Do not give in to despair, my friend. Know that I shall do all in my power to see us through this crisis. Hold fast to hope, and encourage others to do so as well. I'll try, Elder Sootsir. I'll try. I know you've placed yourself at risk leaving the safety of the city and coming here, and that means a lot to me and mine. I'll stay close to the Whalers and pray news of your triumph reaches us soon. Thank you. I promise you that it will not be long. I'll have to see. I'm assuming you just get it from the Mhigo post messages? Sootsirs are sitting pretty with their guards and finery. What do they care if a beast is running amok? They'll be fine. That's why they're doing nothing while it hunts us. We'd be fools to trust our lives to those who don't care a whit. Last time we went south, at least in old Daddy don't pretend to look out for the common man. After you enter in the code, yes? Oh, do you need to enter a code? Elder Sootsir, I was just, I promise you that we are sparing no effort in our hunt for Gleipnir. However, it will take time, and more may suffer before the beast is laid low. Nevertheless, I ask that you place your faith in me, if only for a while longer. I love the Twelveswood and her people with all my heart, and I will not let our enemy torment us forever. I understand. A man's got to give voice to his worries from time to time, aye? Nothing I want less than to abandon my home. I'll stick around. For now. Only enter the pre-order code, early access. Okay, I'll have to go check the Mog Station after stream and see. Will that be all for now, Elder Sootsir? It will. I have done what I can to quell the unrest. But so long as Gleipnir lives, it will never be at peace. I don't know if Sorin kind of like think like kind of the elementals would come to mind as often enough for him. All depends how you got it, since I got it. I think I might have gotten it via the Mog Station. I'll have to check. Yeah. My main character was a white mage, so I know he would have been like much more kind of considering the elementals in this. Nay, none the slightest. The shortest path to a destination is often not the best, and today was a welcome reminder of that truth. Mayhap I should visit these settlements more often. Doubtless some here think me as distant as the elementals. So rarely do they see me in the outer reaches. You have served me admirably as protectors thus far, for which I am grateful. Yet, until we have found and laid Gleipnir low, I must continue to impose upon your goodwill. 'Tis no imposition, Elder Seedseer. You saved me on the killing fields of Cardno. My life is yours, now and always. Your life is your own to command, but I thank you for your words, and your conviction, which fills me with confidence that the path we walk is true. Even if that path takes us far afield. Did I ever tell you that when I was a young student, I would often steal into the woods with a dear friend of mine, much to the chagrin of our teacher? Deep down, I suspect there is still a part of me that yearns to wander where I should not. I just realised Lantinel's involved a little bit in 2 different role quests in Endwalker. Elder Seedseer, word from the border. We've got ourselves a right bloody mess by the sounds of it. What has happened? Per your earlier instructions, Whalers closed the roads to all travel while we scoured the woods for signs of Gleipnir. But now a group of locals are demanding to be let through into Fanalan. They're terrified by the sounds of it, screaming about the creeping death and God knows what else. Despair grips their hearts. If it consumes them wholly, then we may have yet more blasphemies to contend with. I will speak with them. Wild rumours fuel their panic, and with truth and compassion will I convince them to see reason and return to their homes. If anyone can, it's you, Elder Seedseer. We're doing our best to keep them calm for now, but my man's words painted a grim picture. I pray you make your way to the border as quickly as you can. Right. Just fall. I wondered if it was tension had settled in for a moment. Tension is probably visually what I think the coolest weather condition in Final Fantasy. This is... Excuse me. Let us through, damn you! We're standing here while the creeping death nips at our heels. You're telling us to die! Those rumours are false. The Elder Seedseer herself sent word that the creeping death is not responsible for the recent incidents. You mustn't surrender to panic. Return to your homes while we deal with the threat, and pay no heed to baseless stories. Stories? Stories? I've seen the dead with my own eyes. Don't tell me what is and isn't true. Hearken to me, my friends. I come before you now to assure you that the creeping death has not returned. Only those who have been wounded by Gleipnir are in danger. And so I beseech you to take shelter in your homes until the threat has passed. Gleipnir! The beast I saw in the woods! We have to run. It could have followed us. You saw him? Where? Not far from here. Those glistening horns. Those terrible chains. Reaching out to drag you down to the 7th hell. We ran and never looked back. But don't worry. It didn't catch any of us. No one's marked, see? That means we're safe, right? But say we weren't quite fast enough. What then? Its horns and claws are where the poison resides, and even a scratch would be cause for concern. No, did he... even a little scratch, then it's too late for me? Is that why my body feels like it's on fire? You told me the branches tripped you up. You said that's how it happened. You said. O heavenly winds, guide us to the font of strength. May we drink from it and be made whole. I don't feel any better. Do it again. Do it again. It hurts. Help me. Conjuring has no effect. There can be no mistake. This is Gleipnir's doing. Even so, I ask that you do not lose heart. Stay strong. For if we surrender to fear, the beast has already won. No, I don't want to die. Please, help me. Get back. You said it wasn't. Why? Why? Liars! Liars! All of you! None of us are safe. None of us will... Both of them? Despair made manifest. 12 forfend. Is there naught that can be done for these poor souls? I'm sorry. They're gone. Naught but one thing. I know. I know. We must lay them to rest. Contain the fret. Right. Manages. Sorry. Wish I could do more. They are at peace. Would that it had not come to this. I was powerless to prevent it. You did all you could, Elder Seedseer. Is that what's going to happen to us? Is there no hope? What you witnessed was the fate of those who fall to deepest despair. It feeds upon grief and anguish, and is more deadly than Gleipnir itself. But as I swore to you that we shall defeat the blasphemy that haunts our homeland, so too do I swear that despair will not be the end of us. Keep the faith, and look to the horizon, for brighter days will come. As you say, Elder Seedseer. As you say. Gleipnir is not here, and so you are free to return to your homes. I but urge you to take care on the path back. We will, Elder Seedseer. The storm has passed, but a darker tempest roils in the distance. So long as the spectre of despair looms, the people will struggle to take any words of comfort to heart. We will see more tragedies like this. The elementals too cry out for a solution. The longer we struggle to resolve this crisis, the more innocent lives we put at risk. Ryo said we would need to turn to the elementals for assistance, and I know now that she was right, and so I will seek audience with the Great One. However, there are preparations I must attend to first. I shall make the proper ablutions at the lotus stand. Pray return to the Adder's Nest, and await my summons. Right. Do need to find Gleipnir. Hopefully. Ooh, that was bright. Just walk to the light, walk the camera through the light bulb. Despite our best efforts, we've been unable to prevent further loss of life. I foresee even greater hardship ahead. As we press on, we mustn't forget the words of the Elder Seedseer. We must strive to remain undaunted in the face of despair. It's not easy. All the other nations got through their problems. I'm sure Gridania will be no different. She is preparing for a communion with the Great One. When the time is right, she will call upon us both. Until then, my friend, stay strong. I think you kind of want to... I think the rest might have to wait for next stream. I'm feeling... starting to feel a little faint. I think I need to go and get something to eat. I think probably it would be another hour I'd have to go on to finish the quest line, so I don't know if I could manage. But progress was made. We got through all of Doma's role quests and a couple of quests into Gridania. So next stream we'll finish off the tank DPS quests, and I kind of like to keep things separate, but I might just keep on progressing through to the MSQ tomorrow. But we'll see how things go. Things might even be a little... I'll have to see how things go as well with the full Dawn Trail launch to see if anything happens with queue times and connection issues. But I'll have to deal with that when it gets there. But for now, I'll be back same time tomorrow with more Endwalker. And till then, thank you for coming along to watch. I really hope you enjoyed. And until next time I see you, have a good evening, have a good night, and goodbye.